Pharmacy Benefit Managers, PBMs. What are they and why do they exist? I'm going to explain it to you real quick here, but before I do, make sure that you follow this channel for all the latest and greatest updates on GLP-1s, Mounjaro, Ozempic, Wegovy, Saxenda, Victoza, Trulicity, Zepbound. PBMs, or Pharmacy Benefit Managers, are the middlemen of the healthcare industry. The middlemen, the true definition of middlemen. They handle the pharmacy benefits, so the prescription drug benefits, for insurance companies, Medicare Part D plans, employers, and other payers, the ones that, help pay for the medications that we're on. It's basically their job to negotiate between the manufacturers, in the case of the drugs that we all talk about, Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, and they basically negotiate purchase price in bulk for these medications and negotiate them on behalf of the insurance plans that set the price for the medications that you're on. And in the process, they choose for the insurance companies what drugs are available on the formulary, right? That's the list of drugs that your insurance says will cover for whatever condition you may have. Ideally, that negotiation is supposed to provide the consumers with lower prices, but it actually does the exact opposite. It inflates the cost of these medications astronomically. Basically, PBMs in this country have become a gatekeeper for what medications are able to come on the formulary. So what happens is these big PBMs, which like everything else in our country, are just a select few massive companies, some of them even owned by large insurance companies, conflict of interest maybe. And basically what they do is they get manufacturers of these drugs to pay them, to reimburse them, to be on the formulary. So it's sort of a pay-to-play scheme that's completely legal somehow. PBMs take 10, sometimes 20, 30, 40% of the cost of the medication. So if you're on a medication that costs $1,200, it's highly likely that they're taking $300 or $400 per prescription just by being the PBM in the middle. This is significantly impacting small pharmacies because the PBMs set the reimbursement rates, how much they're actually going to pay the pharmacies back for these medications. And oftentimes, the small pharmacies especially are left to foot an extra bill because the PBMs say, oh, we're only reimbursing that much of the prescription. So not only are they gatekeeping the medications that maybe our doctor wants us to take for the conditions that we have, but they're jacking up the prices and taking a huge cut of the amount of money that we do pay for these medications. Oh, and they're running small mom and pop pharmacies out of business so that our healthcare system becomes more ubiquitous and more of a monopoly by just a few select, way too large companies. The lack of transparency, the high cost of the drugs imposed upon us by all the money that they're taking as middlemen is a huge burden on our healthcare system, and it has to be dealt with. Contact your legislator today. Tell them you want PBM reform at the federal level. And also let them know that we need to pass the Treat and Reduce Obesity Act.